Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman. Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Panyawa Al Yaka, Panyawa Al Yaka, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yaka, Panyawa Al Yaka, Wayasham, Wayasham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a dedication. A little inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. One day, when the war is won, victory will be yours.
Victory's gonna be ours.
It'll be yours. One day, when the kingdom comes, it'll be yours. It'll be yours. It's a long way up,
Long way up.
and a short way down. Just don't let nobody come and take your crown.
Take your crown.
Trying to make it through the system, but the doors are locked. The Most High got you covered. You're gonna rise to the
We're gonna
top.
rise, y'all.
This battle will bring victory on with the greatest book in history. Jacob, you're great, it's no mystery.
Jacob, you're great.
Yeah, yeah. You know this battle has just begun.
Battle's just
Jacob,
begun.
you're hated by everyone.
All
But
nations
just
hate
remember
us.
you're the chosen son. Yeah, yeah.
This song is such an inspiration. We get the kingdom though there's much tribulation. Every day I send my prayers up. I even read where Yahweh said he'd raise us up. He gave Abraham the covenants. On the shoulders of Christ will rest the governments. The forces the nations gotta bring to me. The world is ours, our gates open continually. Praise Yahweh cause he gave us life, and sacrifice the reward as you could reign with Christ. Yeah, it's true, the Father made us sons to get a crown, then endure until the Savior comes. In the sight of God, no man is justified. To be approved, I read that gold must be tried. In the end, we're the greatest folks in history. Malachi sing to them about our victory.
This battle will bring victory.
We gonna get the
on with the
victory.
greatest book in history.
Bible's the
Jacob, you're
greatest
great,
book.
it's no mystery. Yeah, yeah. You know this battle has just begun.
Battle has
Jacob,
just
you're
begun.
hated by everyone, but just remember you're the chosen son. Yeah, yeah.
We give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, for giving Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob the covenants. and for choosing our nation. We appreciate that. Hope the song inspired you. Yeah. Don't be mad that an Israelite made it. The suckers gon' talk, the cowards gon' hate it. No matter what they say, I'ma go get it done. There's really no choice if you from where I'm from. Some people gon' be glad, others gon' be mad. You juicing off the hate and relapse, and you need rehab. I could show you things, all you see is the rings. Don't get blinded by ice, my brother. Pick a lane, learn a skill that'll get you very well paid. Investing in trades like a monopoly game. All you need is your brain, and be willing to change. You'll have obstacles in life, but don't look at it strange. Adapt to your environments, get well-rounded. In the laws of the Most High, stay well-grounded. Things happen and life goes on. Let the haters hate while you stay strong.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do the day, the time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Do what you need to do, there's a king in you. But if talent don't work, it won't be useful. I remember the times of free school lunch. Whatever we didn't eat, moms took it for our brunch. Pops was working hard, now I know how it feels to have extra. He used to bring us meals on wheels. If you know, you know. Free things was a major help. That's why anytime I get, I always try to help. Those who are in need, who are know are sincere. It makes me feel good when they smiling from ear to ear. Let them be mad, I'm bearing my cross. All my failures was a lesson, never counted a loss. Edomites make way, cause they know I'm a boss. Sitting in the Lambo, while they sit in the porch. And they wondering how, so they try to converse. The ones that smile in your face are usually the
Don't
worst.
say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do the day, the time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom. Lashar Shabbat. All praises to the Most High. That we here again, back again. Very important topic to definitely discuss. My golly, got anything you want to add before we get started?
Not necessarily. Just want to say good morning, everybody. Thanks for everybody coming. Send up prayers for everybody in Israel. Definitely in a time of prayer, definitely a time to gather one another, and let's get the class on. Happy Sabbath, everybody.
Con. Hey, all praises, right? So just a heads up, y'all, we do have a couple more people coming on as well. So definitely don't plan for this to be like a usual Sabbath class, right? And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that we're not going over scripture, because we definitely always use scripture. We're a Bible-based people, right? We're definitely a Bible-based people. But what's actually going on is literally this is going to be like a discussion, so definitely put your inputs in the chat. Definitely going to be showing some of those as well, right? So as you can see, this class is literally, based on about suicide, right? You don't really see a lot of people talking about it too much. I haven't seen anything inside the Israelite community as far as concerning suicide, brothers being suicidal or anything of that nature. But you got to understand that these things and these thoughts are going to take place, right? Look at our conditions that we live in, right? The curses alone, which we're going to go over today, will be the reason why these thoughts even come about, right? So the first thing I want to do, let me share the screen because I want to pull up Ezekiel chapter 3, right? So let me share the screen. All right. So Ezekiel chapter 3, and we're going to start at the 17th verse.
All right, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Mm-hmm.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand.
Go ahead.
Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
All right, last verse.
Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require of thine hand.
All right, so that's letting you know that, hey, the wicked man is going to perish. And if somebody that was righteous at a point in time goes back into his wickedness, right, and he perishes, right, that blood is required at his hand, right? So he made us watchmen, right? We have to be watchmen for one another. So topics like these have to be talked about because we have to give the wicked warning, right? And then, and in this case, the wicked would be who? Those that do such acts as suicide, right? So let's grab this real quick. Exodus 20, going right to the law. All right. 20 and 13.
All right. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
All right, read it again.
Thou shalt not kill.
All right, so now we know that this doesn't equate to when we go to war, because at times we are commanded to kill, right? We know at times we are literally commanded to go out, take lands from other nations, so on and so forth, right? We also are to kill those in old time, during the time of Moses, right? Those unrighteous Israelites, right? When they committed sin, they broke the Sabbath, right? They committed adultery. They did all of these things. We had to bring them before the congregation and stone them to death, right? So it's not talking about that in particular. It's literally talking about unrighteously, right? We should not kill unrighteously. So at the end of the day, these things happen, right? So I know y'all don't see priests now, right? But I'm going to play just a little small snippet of one of his old classes, right? Y'all get to see the young priests and the young elders of Ahab, right? So he is teaching this weekend, right? So let me blow it up real quick and play like 3 minutes or so.
I'm going to assume that for the sake of assumption, I'm talking to Israelites that don't know the Israelites out in the world. I wouldn't expect anybody in this truth to be possibly contemplating killing yourself. If you're contemplating killing yourself, you're not in the truth. Because the Bible tells you that when you come into this truth, you're going to endure a whole lot of things. A whole lot of troubles are going to come your way. So if you're in this truth, you know that that's a part of it. So I wouldn't expect any Israelite in the knowledge to be contemplating killing himself. So this video is basically directed towards everybody else. All right. So Ecclesiastes chapter 12, read verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
So the dust is going to return to the earth as it was. Why? Because when you go back and read the book of Genesis, the first chapter, the Bible tells you the Lord created man from what? The dust of the ground. So when the dust is going to return to the earth from whence it came. That's literal. Go ahead.
And the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it.
And the spirit that dwells inside the body, your abode, returns to the Most High that gave it. So the Most High gave you your spirit. You didn't give yourself life. The Lord gave you life. So your life is not yours to take because you didn't give yourself life. All right? From there, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 20. Because now that we know that we didn't give ourselves life, let's take it a little step further. Psalms chapter 68, verse 20. Read that.
Psalms chapter 68, verse 20. He that is our power is the power of salvation.
The Lord is the power of salvation. The Lord is the one that's going to deliver us. He's going to deliver us out of America. And the Lord is also going to deliver us out of our troubles and out of our distresses. The Lord is going to deliver you. You cannot deliver yourself by going and hanging yourself somewhere. You cannot deliver yourself from your problems by putting a revolver to your head and blowing yourself away. Because you think your woman is out committing adultery, so now you're going to go and you're going to kill yourself. The Lord is our salvation. The Lord is going to deliver you from those problems. The Lord is going to deliver you from the financial problems that you're having. The so-called IRS decides to audit you in 2013. Now you want to kill yourself. The Lord will deliver you from that if you have faith. Go ahead.
And unto the Most High, the Lord, belong the issues from death.
So unto the Most High belongs the issues of death. Why? Because the Most High gave you your spirit in the first place. So the Lord is the one that decides when it's time for you to leave the earth. It's not up to you to decide when you leave the earth. You understand that? From there, let's go back to the book of Ecclesiastes and let's start in chapter 3 and let's read verses 1 and 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. Go ahead.
If I might say this also, Esau is the one who gave our people that spirit, or our people is following Esau, thinking that they can control their own destiny, they can take their life into their own hands. A lot of these movies that's in the movie theaters and a lot of these external forces that we see around us always trying to tell us that our life is in our own hands. We hold the power over life and death. In all actuality, that's not according to the scriptures. You're going against the Most High's plans, man. Even though everything is already preordained, but still, you're not supposed to take your life into your own hands because what the scripture says, it's not your life to begin with. So we have to be careful following Esau.
Right. The Lord gave you the spirit, and the Lord allowed you to be in.
All right. So I just wanted to stop it there. All right. So a lot was said there, and I just want to show something. Right. Let me grab. I got to pull it up though. All right, because we're going to the book of Sirach. Going to
I think Zahab is on here.
Come. Shalom, Elder Shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Mashar Shabbat. How y'all brothers doing?
Shalom, we got good, Elder. Shalom.
All praises. Shalom to the people. Shalom, everybody. Salakia for coming in late. Go ahead, King.
Come. All right, so we're going to the book of Sirach, chapter 15. All right, because the last thing Elder literally just said on that video, right, it was that we get that spirit from Esau, right? But at the end of the day, the Lord requires us to do what he told us to do, right? So when we have that spirit, it's because we wanted it. It's not because, he gave it to us, right? So start at verse 11.
All right, this is the book of Sirach. Chapter 15, verse 11. Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away, but thou oughtest not to do the things that he hateth.
Mm-hmm.
Say not thou, he have caused me to err, for he have no need of the sinful man.
All right, so it's not the Lord's fault that you decided to do the things that you wanted to do, right? You decided that you can't take this anymore, so you want to check out, right? So that somebody else came in.
Zakari.
Yeah, I think that's Captain Zakari.
Oh, I heard it. All right, Shalom, Cap. All right, so let's get back to verse 13.
Verse 13. The Lord hateth all abomination, and they that fear Yahweh love it not. He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hand of his counsel. If thou wilt to keep the commandments and to perform the acceptable faithfulness, he hath set fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand until whether thy wilt.
All right, so stretch forth your hand to what you're going to decide to do with your life, right? We understand that that's another scripture that says that the Most High chose us, right? We did not choose him. We understand that. But then he also, again, he's even telling us now, he set these things before us for us to choose, right? If we're going to serve him, then what need is it for us to have us take ourselves out? If we're going to serve him, that means we know him, right? That means we know that these curses are put upon us, right? Which we're going to go over, right? I'm not sitting there saying that no brother should have ever had a thought of not being here before, right? That thought is different from actually committing the act of suicide, right? It's a difference. We see when we read like in the book of Jonah, right? We read in the book of Jonah, after he did what he did in Nineveh to go warn the people, he asked the Most High, hey, let me, go up under this tree and let me die, right? Because his spirit was just sore vexed from all of the wickedness that was in the land, right? So the Most High granted it to him. He didn't go out and do it himself, right? He could have did that, but he asked the Lord to do it, right? So go ahead, verse 17.
Verse 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. Keep going.
Yep, we're going all the way to the end.
All right. For the wisdom of the Lord is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholdeth all things. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
Read that again.
He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
He commanded no man to take his own life. Because the scripture says that he kills, he makes alive, right? It didn't say that you do it. Because guess what? You can do one, right? You can literally take yourself out, but can you make yourself alive again? You can't. You absolutely can't do that, right? You can't get on that bed to literally bring life back into you, to bring breath back into you, right? It's the Most High that does that. So we should not be doing that thing. We shouldn't even be considering it. But guess what? The world that we live in, these things is going to happen, right? But we have to be watchmen in order to warn the people, right? And this is going to be for in and out the truth, right? Because even inside this thing, guess what? Things could happen, right? You can get kicked out of a camp. You know what I'm saying? You go to another camp, you get kicked out of that camp. You feel like you may feel like you're not wanted anywhere. You may feel like you're not needed. You may feel like the Lord is not with you, right? But this is why in Corinthians it tells us to examine ourselves, right? If it's you that keeps getting put out of camps or you keep getting suspended, right? You think it's the people that don't like you or they treating you unfairly? That's probably something you're doing, brother or sister, right? It's probably something that you're doing. You need to change. No need to consider taking yourself out because you don't feel like you belong. right? But we got to know that these things is gonna come up. As much things that happen inside our community, right? We got to know that these things definitely are thoughts that are upon our people. This is why you literally have we may label them as camp bashers or camp haters, right? But you literally have people like that all across the internet. They talk, it's brothers talking about this camp, talking about that camp, talking about camps in general, you know, saying they're cults, saying they wicked. There's a bunch of stuff happening. So you know it's some people that's butthurt somewhere because something happened to them. But instead of literally trying to make it right with their brother or sister, they want to bash. And now you all alone. And now you feel like you don't have anything to live for. Right? Read that last verse again.
All right, verse 20. He have commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin.
Right? He never gave you that command to do anything at all, none whatsoever. Right? So, yeah, brothers want to add anything?
Let me add a few, right? Let me start off at Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 12. Let me start that off real quick because exactly, man, the Most High has given us life, and it's not our job to take it away. Like, who are we to say that we don't deserve to be living on the earth and the Most High put breath in your body to continue to live? Because if you know your purpose in life, you wouldn't even have to worry about trying to destroy your soul. You know what I'm saying? You will be here because you know you have a purpose to do a job for the Most High. Because look at Yahushua. Yahushua, he went through way worse than what we went through, you know, and he didn't think about killing himself. Shoot, he even didn't even want to die. Even though he knew what his purpose was, he didn't even want to die. He was asking the Most High, hey, remove this from me, this cup, because he knew he was about to go through a brutal destruction. So when our people go through these things time and time, we have no shelter, we have no comfort, and we the people that always try to internalize things in. Like, we don't like to go and tell people our situations. So what we do, we kind of hold our problems all to ourselves and put it in a bottle. And we put so much in the bottle to the point where the bottle will explode. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, when we don't talk, we don't know what's going on with another brother or sister. Because a lot of that stuff comes with pride.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, this is why the Most High gave us scriptures, because like it speaks in Galatians, care for other people's burdens, care for your neighbor's burdens. You know, when it speaks about these things, that's what it's for. Like, why as Israelites we internalize these things? You know what I'm saying? Again, the white man has taught us not to be shedding tears, not to to stick our chest out and be a man. You know what I'm saying? That's what our community is taught. You got to know how to be a man. You got to know you can't be weak and express your feelings. So what we do, we use that and internalize it. Then we say, since I can't talk to nobody and I want to look weak, so I'm gonna kill myself. And that's off, right? But let me get verse 12 real quick.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 12. Seek not death in the era of your life.
Do not seek death in the troubles of your life. Because that's what we do. We want to destroy ourselves when we can't have it our way. Go ahead.
And pour not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hands.
With the works of your hands. Whatever you've done and you can't get yourself together, then you use your own hands to destroy yourself. Right? We can't be doing stuff like that. Go ahead.
For Yahweh made not death.
Right. He didn't make death because he made life, right? God is not the author of death. He's the author of life, right? Go ahead.
Neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
Right. He don't have pleasure when we are doing our own things, not communicating with our neighbor, holding things in, having pride, walking around with a simple mindset. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have pleasure in that, right? Because with all that, what we keep in our mind, that's when we go ahead and find a way to take ourselves out. Go ahead.
For he created all things that they might have their being,
Uh-huh.
and the generations of the world were healthful,
Healthful. Yep. Okay.
and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth.
Uh-huh.
For righteousness is immortal.
It's immortal, right? It's a spirit, right? Righteousness is a spiritual life, and this is a good life, right? When you keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, you'll find everything good about what life is really about, right? I get it. When we around what we see on everyday basis, nah, man, this is very despairing moment what we see. Because see, when we going through all this these ailments, then we see what we going through, man, we want to be like, I want to get out of here. I can't stand to see another day. Just like what I did the class on yesterday about, hey, going on drugs. That'd be the first example. People want to kill themselves slowly.
Okay.
I want to go and overdose. I want to go ahead and pop some pills because I don't want to put a gun in my head or stab myself or cut myself because I know it's too painful. So they try to look for a silent death. So that's why they overdose. Right? Go ahead.
But ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught.
Right. They consume to anything, to nothing, right? Go ahead.
And made a covenant with it.
They made a deal with it. They made a deal with sin and they made a deal with death. Go ahead.
Because they are worthy to take part with it.
Right. They are worthy to walk hands in hand with sin, right? All right. Let me get no, just pause right there. I'll hold off. I'll hold off till later. So whatever. That'll be it. I'll lay there.
Come on. Elder, you want to get in there? Cap, you want to get in there before we keep on rolling?
Shalom, Shah Shabbat family. Shah Shabbat brothers. I don't want to jump ahead because I don't know exactly how many verses you already have etched out, but I have a couple of verses, and I don't want to kind of go faster than where you're at this point, because this is a very, very important topic, and our people are suffering from this. Like Michael Allah brought out a little while ago, pride plays a heavy role in this thing here, right? We got to be mindful of that pride. So I'll just kind of wait till you proceed on. I did have one scripture that I wanted to bring out, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 16 and 17, and then I don't know if you had that in your arsenal already.
I do, but we can always go to it twice.
Oh, you already brought it out. Okay.
No, I haven't brought it out. I haven't brought it out yet, but it's all good.
Okay, Khan. Michael Allah, Sergeant Michael Allah, you want to read that for me, or you want me to read it?
No, I got it, King. I got it. All right.
Khan.
This is the book of Salakia. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 17. Be not over.
Start at 16, Salakia.
Verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise.
Stop right there. Pride plays a part in being a little over wise. You have to be very careful when you're dealing with wisdom. Wisdom is a powerful thing when you know how to apply it, but when you get prideful because you know too much, it could hurt you. It could backfire on you, right? That's why we try to always remain humble about the wisdom that we do have about verses and scriptures and XYZ. Proceed on.
All right. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Right. So why should you destroy yourself? Right. You should not think that destroying yourself is a good thing, because it's not. Right. Because like Captain the Bach brought out earlier, you take your life, but you can't give yourself life again. It's over once you do that. You cannot replace that once you've taken it. It's gone. Right. You can't say, okay, I got the power. I'm God. Like you see these God bodies, these 5%ers think this type of way. Okay, yeah, I'm God. I could, move this and do that. I could, end myself and bring myself back. Like they will teach this stuff. And it's wrong according to the God and according to the Bible. Read on.
All right. Verse 18. No, did I
17.
finish the 17? All right. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? No, Salakia. Be not over wicked. Salakia. Be not over much wicked.
Right.
Neither be thou foolish.
Right, because you can be wicked and still be foolish, but you're not supposed to be over much wicked, meaning that you're not supposed to go out here and deliberately do something that you know is wicked and against God's will. Suicide, killing yourself, that's against God's will. Need to be thou foolish. Read on.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Got to put it back up real quick. All right. Let me start over. Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before any time?
Why should you die before? Why should you die before your time? That's a question that's being asked. You should not die before your time. You should do everything you can to stay here as long as possible, because the Most High has a job for you to do, each and every one of us. And I'm gonna land with that. The water, Captain Debak.
Con.
Salakia brothers, I stepped away for a hot minute. I do apologize. But I do want to say something. But first, I want Sergeant Micah Allah just popped in if he wants to say a few words.
Salakia for the tardiness. Shalom to the panel. Shalom to all of Israel. I'm glad to be a part of this subject in this room. So, not sure what y'all covered thus far, but yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Khan, all praises. I'm so glad the Spirit moved you, Captain Debak, to put this panel together, because even doing a 2-hour class, I don't think it's gonna do it justice, man. It probably got to be like, like a weekly series or something like that, because this is a serious topic that's plaguing our people, right? Now, there's different levels of mental health that plays into this. There's also the spiritual way you can look at this, right? Because it's spirits that jump on people also, that make them do these things. You know what I mean? And in addition to that, Esau doesn't help either. You understand? So I just wanted to bring that out.
All right, you're 100% correct, right? And this goes into the scripture. I know, Micah Allah, man, you literally brung out a bunch of the scriptures I was using, but it's all right. You know what I'm saying? That I'm talking about last night. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to one, right? Just to go off of what Elder was just saying. This is where this spirit comes from, right? So we're going right back to Galatians chapter 5, and let's go to verse 19.
All right. This is the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies.
Hold it right there, right? So a lot of what you was going into last night is going to be mentioned in this next video that I'm going to play, right? Mainly as far as like the witchcraft portion, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to figure out why these things happen, right? So I'm gonna work backwards, right? I'm gonna go on the surface level to figure out why these things happen, but then ultimately, right, we understand, right, as Israelites, these things happen because of the breaking of the commandments, right? Literally, suicide is a curse. It's a cursed thing. It's a cursed thought, right? It is. That's what it is. You got to realize this is why Paul is even speaking this in the city of Galatia, right? Because who was ruling around that time, right? You had the Greeks, you had the Romans, and we all know what they was into. You think that they were sober? You know what I'm saying? having these freak offs, they wasn't sober when they was doing that. Right? They was doing all kind of drugs and all kind of wickedness. Right? They had it back then. It's nothing new under the sun. Right? Go ahead, finish that out.
Verse 20. Idolatry. No, Salakia 21.
Yeah.
Verse 21. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, reveling, and such like of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
Right? So they which do such thing is not, they're not getting the kingdom. Right? So let's go to let me go to this video real quick. Right? That's not it. Right here. Right? So I'm gonna play this video. Right? We're gonna listen to the whole thing because it's pretty much going into the feelings that people have, right? Feelings that people get, and before they quote unquote, commit suicide. So as watchmen, right, we gotta watch for certain signs, right? These are some of the signs that we gotta watch for. And then as even better watchmen, we also gotta watch for signs that we may not even think is there, right? We need to cover all bases. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying we gotta be psychic? No. Right? Am I saying that we got to hover over people like hound dogs? No. But you never know what a simple phone call could do for a brother or sister. Just a, hey, Shalom, how you doing, King? How you doing, sis? That goes a long way. Right? Especially for our brothers and sisters that's out of town. You know what I'm saying? And that's only, a couple people that's there in the state with them. You got to realize we don't make enough money to literally travel to see each other once a month, once a week. We don't make enough money for that. So those phone calls could literally be you talking to brother or sister off the ledge and not even knowing it. Because like my God said, your pride is not going to let you go and talk to people, right? Your pride not going to do it. So sometimes as watchmen, right, as us looking out for one another, because we remember in the book of Judges, we had to police one another, right? We was our own police. It wasn't no authorities over us. We had judges, right? And the judges, and then also the people with the judges, we watched over each other. And that's something that we got away from, right? So this is why these things started to happen and creep up in our community, right? So let's play this.
Ever wondered how many silent battles go unnoticed? Suicide is a whispered temptation, inviting the tired, the unwary, the disgraced to enter its quiet door, said psychologist Dr. K. Redfield Jameson. True enough, if you click this video, you're most likely feeling the same way, right? Life can be a roller coaster of emotions, and everyone experiences ups and downs. However, there are moments when you may find yourself grappling with thoughts about ending it all. While active suicide ideation is a more overt cry for help, passive suicide ideation often lurks in the shadows, manifesting in subtle signs that may be easily overlooked. It involves thoughts of death without a specific plan or intent to act on those thoughts, making it harder to identify.
See that? So it's literally, she said it's active, right? You may be thinking about doing those thoughts, but you didn't necessarily commit the act, right? And in this community, when we look at the curses, the things that surround us, right? A lot of us may not be fortunate to not stay in a quote unquote hood. You know what I'm saying? What about the people that wake up, they go outside and the first thing you see is trash everywhere, right? You have people literally coming into your neighborhoods, dumping their trash, all because they don't have enough room in their trash can before trash day, right? You have these Edomites that don't want their dogs no more. They come out and let their dogs loose. I've seen it. I grew up in the projects. Come out, let their dogs loose. Now their dogs is just stray dogs around the neighborhood. And don't nobody really know nothing about these dogs. They could be vicious. Some of the children got bit by dogs. Things of that nature. You wake up, you see drug needles, pin needles, all outside, right? You can't tell me this thought never crossed your mind to say, hey, I don't want to be here no more. Right? It happens. Right? It's a normal thing. It's literally what I would even call a normal thought in captivity. Right? But nobody talks about it. We go on every day, right? We just put a basketball in our kids' hands. Right back in my day. Now, in today's time, we just put a tablet in kids' hands and act like, hey, you don't see that. You don't really see what you see, or you don't really see what's out here. Right? Because now they made these things affordable for us to get. So now we just give it to them. Right? And now they're literally blind to the fact of how they grow up living. Right? Until they get older and they start to see these things. But you as a parent, you didn't cover that basis with them. Because a lot of our children, right, between, I would say, the ages of 10 and 18, and then also between the ages about 25 to 40 or so, those were the most suicides happen at between those ages. Right? It's either you don't know what you want to do with your life, right, when you grow up, or you don't let high school pass you by. You don't let you get into your late 20s or mid 20s. You feel like, hey, it's too late to make something of my life. So now I want to just check out. That's when these things happen. Right? So let's keep rolling.
With that said, let's shed some light on the importance of recognizing and addressing these subtle signs of passive suicide ideation. Neglecting personal care. When was the last time you showered or brushed your teeth? Have you been exercising or eating well-balanced meals the past few weeks? If you've been forgetting to do these things more and more lately, it might be because you're struggling mentally and emotionally, which is disrupting your daily routine and basic ability to function. And neglecting your self-care might already be a silent cry for help, so don't ignore it.
Right? So literally, that's definitely one. And how do you know brothers and sisters is not going through this if you're not reaching out? Right? Now, I'm not saying that if you reach out and they don't respond, that's not on you. Right? It's not your fault if brothers and sisters don't respond, don't pick up the phone, all right, or don't call you back. But if you haven't heard from a brother or sister a while, this is why I'm glad our elders pushed this. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard from a brother or sister, reach out. Right? Reach out. Because you never know what's going on. This could literally be them. If you ain't heard from them, they probably either in the house, because it's not like we can just make it to them every day. We got our own lives. We have our own children we have to raise and things of that nature. So sometimes a phone call is all we can do. Right? But they could be in the house, not bathing, barely eating, or just eating off, eating a bunch of crazy foods that's going to make you sick. Right, so that's one way, right? Let's go to the
Salakia, Cap.
Come.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like this video because it's touching on a lot of things that our people go through, and like you said, when you look at it statistically, us, and Hispanics was at the lowest rate, you know what I mean, for this type of situation until the 2000s. And then our rates started to increase. Can somebody give me the book of Job, chapter 7? I don't know if y'all brought that out. Did y'all bring that up? Come. And the reason I'm bringing this out is because our brothers felt this way too. Like you said, Debak, whether you live in the hood or the projects or just things going on in your life, right? Mental stability is very important, and somebody got to be there. Y'all know the book of Job. Nobody was there. He had two partners that was talking about him and stuff like that. His wife was against him and everything with all that he was going through, right? All right, so give me 14 through 16.
All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 7 and verse 14. Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifiest me through visions, so that my soul chooses strangling and death rather than my life. I loathe it. I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. What is man? You said verse all the way to 17, Mike?
16. End of 16.
All right. I'll read it again. Verse 16. I loathe it. I will not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity.
You see what I'm saying? Like Job wanted to die. You know what I mean? Because of what he was going through. He didn't understand what he was going through. Remember, he comes to the Most High and he's like, remember, he was like, I don't know what I did, but I must have did something wrong. And he wanted to die. This is how a lot of our people think and a lot of our people groom themselves. You see what I'm saying? Especially if they're not like accepted in the world, especially if they're separated from the world. You know what I mean? If you grow up a certain way, so on and so forth. I'm gonna be honest, I got a little sister that has that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be very, very cautious with her because of that mindset. So yeah, this is very important. Do me a favor, give me Jonah chapter 4, verse 3.
All right, this is the book of Jonah, chapter 4 and verse 3. You about to say something, Mike?
No, go ahead.
Okay, God. Therefore, now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live.
See what I'm saying? This is how our people think sometimes. What difference does it make if I'm here or not? You see what I'm saying? If you go to the chapter prior to this, you know what I mean? He already was talking to the people. Some of them listened, some of them didn't. You see what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, man, you know, I might as well be gone. What difference does it make if I'm here or not? This is what's put on the table for our people. You see what I'm saying? Our circumstances affect us. A big problem with us is we have mental health issues, right? Like PTSD and stuff like that. And we don't really know it and we don't understand it. And the generations become weaker and weaker. So they're subject to this type of thing immediately.
Khan, and if I could also add to this, the age we're living in with this technology is not helping. Hey, Slakia Captain, I know you probably got that lined up also because I see you going into certain things. I just wanted to bring that out too, man. This technology ain't helping. It's not. I heard on the news, somebody went to Chat GPT and was asking them questions, and the answers they got, they ended up taking their life. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta be on guard, man. Teach our children, man. I know you got this already, but I just wanted to bring it out. Let me get Proverbs 3 and 5. We gotta teach our children from when they're young, right? To be on guard, so when they get older and they turn into adolescents, right, they could use this, because the scriptures is life. But when you veer away from life and you leave the commandments, the ends thereof is death, right? You want me to read or somebody read that for me?
Yeah, I'll read it. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right. Don't try to solve your own mental problems. Right. Lean not on your own understanding, because most of the times your own understanding is what kind of led you down the wrong path anyway. Right. You can't trust your mind. Can't trust your heart. The scriptures say the heart is deceitful above all things. And we know in Hebrew, the heart, it really means your mind. It's not talking about that organ that pumps blood. That organ doesn't think, right? People say, oh, my heart got broken. Really? Is it that thing that pumps blood in your chest got broken? Or is it your mind that got broken? So when we talk about the heart, when the Bible talks about the heart is deceitful, it's talking about your mind. So with that being said, we can't lean into our own understanding. Now, I will say this: when you're a child or you're a young adult, let's say young adult, adolescence, right? You think you know it all. I got it. Well, he ain't a teenager no more. My son is in his early 20s. He just turned 20. They think they know it all. And that's the age range where they lean on their own understanding and they quick to fall into despair. Why? Because they don't trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Even though I taught him and you could teach them, they still want to see what's out there. They still want to rebel, so to speak, and go out there, right? And that's when they encounter different things, like the technology that Esau is pushing, like, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, the medication that Esau pushes also. I don't know if he was going into that, Debat, but that medication also it helps push people down that path of suicide. Because these Esau doctors will prescribe meds and they'll jack their heads. You know what I mean?
Elder, hey, like I said, I got a sister that deals with this, right? She takes meds for depression, for now she takes meds for lupus, and she's starting to have kidney problems and stuff like that. And I was like, those meds are killing you.
Right.
And I'm like, you get into these states to where you want to harm yourself and you don't understand where it's coming from. She's only 21 years old, Elder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the age, man.
Yeah.
That's the age, because they're grown per se, physically they're grown by Esau's law and society. They grown. Once they're 18, they could move out, they could do their own thing, right? But what do you know at 20, 21? What do you know? You know some things, but you don't know a lot. And if you consult in Chat GPT and you on video games, you playing like what's I'm not a video game dude. What's that? Call of Duty or all them things. And if you're not grounded in the scriptures, right? You know who be entering them chats, all type of Edomites and these heathens and other nations, and they be, you know what I mean? People be depressed and they try to take it out with by submerging themselves in the games and things of that nature. It's a death spiral because they leaning on their own understanding. Let me get verse 6, Proverbs 3 and 6.
Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
So if we acknowledge the Most High, or if our youth, for the most part, now we know suicide it doesn't has a limit on age, but I'm just using this example for the adolescent youth, right? If they were taught to acknowledge the Most High, right, and they were not rebellious and they continue down that path, then the Lord will direct their paths. Now that's one example, right? And I'm gonna fall back. I don't know where the captain is going, but there's so many ways it could go. There's stories about adults, 50, 60-year-old men, women who are plagued with this. But my whole thing is this, man: lean not on your own understanding, because you think that I'm gonna end it all. there's no life tomorrow. That's your own understanding. Who are you? You don't know what tomorrow brings.
Uh-huh.
You know. So with that, I yield, King Salaki.
No, it's all good. That's the purpose. That's why I wanted everybody on here. You know what I'm saying? Because we can all, bring different perspectives to the table. You know what I'm saying? So, let me go back into the video real quick. Let this video finish. Right. So.
Giving away belongings. Ever had a friend who suddenly became a generous giver, almost like Santa Claus in the middle of July? Or maybe you've been having a strong urge lately to just impulsively give away what was once your most prized possessions.
I'm not saying that this don't happen in our community, right? But this is more, leaning towards, Esau, but because we don't have a lot to give away anyway, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure that this happened, with our people here and there, but let's keep rolling.
It's not about being overly generous or suddenly adopting a minimalist lifestyle. It's a symbolic act, common for those with passive suicide ideation. Giving away belongings is like tying up loose ends, a way of saying, here's something to remember me by, or I don't care about anything anymore. Loss of interest in future plans. Imagine having a conversation with a friend about all your future plans, and it suddenly hits you that you're not excited about anything anymore. Be it that long-awaited getaway, life after graduation, or any other future plans. You realize that goals that once sparked so much enthusiasm in you now have lost their shine.
Now you don't want to talk about it. We've all been there with brothers and sisters that literally, you talking to them about, hey, you going to do this, you're going to do this. And you're the other person just listening. You're not saying nothing, right? You listening to that person, and in your mind, it's, hey, I don't need to even think about that. I don't plan on being here much longer. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I ain't got no plan, nothing out here for me, right? And we can even take this thing into coming into the knowledge of the truth, right? You come into the knowledge of the truth because we say that we're living in the last days, or the scriptures say that we're living in the last days and things of that nature, right? You automatically think, hey, man, Yahushua coming back soon. Hey, so I don't got to work. I ain't really got to go out. I ain't got to do nothing. And now you in this truth all jacked up, right? You homeless. You ain't got this. You ain't got a pot to piss in, right? Because you wanted to literally sit there and misunderstand what prophecy was really saying, right? Just because you're in this thing and just because you know that Yahushua is going to come back, right, and get us up out of here, you don't have no idea when the hour or day is, right? So you're supposed to continue, right? Jeremiah speaks on it. You're supposed to continue to work, right? To do things, you can make plans, right? You're supposed to continue these things. But guess what? I'm sure it's a brother out there somewhere, right, that literally sat there and said, hey, man, it's literally, especially when the year 2019 came, right? They wanted to say, hey, we got here 1619. Hey, 2019, that's 400 years. Hey, man, we finna get ready to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Not really realizing that even during the time of Exodus, right, we was in that land for over 400 years, right? Was it a 400-year mark exactly? It absolutely wasn't. It was more than that, right? The Most High, he's not being direct when he says 400 years. It could be 407. Hell, it could be 499 for all we know, right? You continue to move forward, right? And you progress. But when you don't do it, these things set in. And now before you know it, you realize like, hey, I ain't got nothing. I might as well, I need to end it all. Nah, don't lean to your own understanding like the elder brought out.
Could I ask something, Captain, real quick before you continue with the video?
Con. I wanted to say something too also. Go ahead, King.
So I just want two scriptures real quick. I want to bring out 2 Timothy 2, verse 3. I don't know if you had that on your list, Captain DeBach. Okay, because what you just said was very important, right? And what the elder also said, right? in this walk and in this truth, when you come, we all know the scripture, prepared ourselves for temptation, right? Temptation is also a form of being tried, right? So let me 2 Timothy 2 verse 3. I just want one from there, and then I'm gonna go to 2nd Ezra real quick.
All right, this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Mashiach Yahushua.
So it's gonna be hard times we gotta deal with. Everything ain't gonna be smooth sailing and green pastures. There's a duality to this thing. Some days will be harder than others. Some days will ride smooth. Some days will be good, right? Our people that go through these anxieties and go through these pridefulness, and they want to, take their life, they looking at it always in a hard aspect. Oh, this is hard. I can't deal with this. And, they going through a lot. They are going through a lot emotionally, mentally. Like the elder said, it's all in their mind. A lot of times it's their mind. It's not their actual heart. They in a state of mourning, as well as in a state of uncertainty. They don't know what's going on and what to expect. That's why we gotta kind of stay grounded in these scriptures, because it lets us know what's happening. It lets us know what's going on, right? It lets us know what we gotta deal with. We gotta deal with temptation. We gotta deal with hard times. We gotta deal with good times. We gotta deal with the whole shebang. It's a whole thing, right? It's not just one thing. You have to endure hardness as a good soldier of Hamashiach Yahushua, right? We got to endure these hard things. What did Christ go through? Christ went through hell on earth when he was being tormented and tortured and being whipped. He went through a lot, and he knew that was going to happen. And that's why he told the Father, if it's the other way, take this cup from me. But if not, I will do thy will. Right? Because even he understood that it was going to be a trial and a tribulation he had to go through. So why wouldn't we have to go through that? So therefore, when we facing not like the box said, we're going to go through those type of thoughts. When you having those thoughts, reach out. Don't let pride set in and say, nah, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want nobody to think I'm weak, or I don't want nobody to think I'm soft, or whatever it may be. Reach out, right? Talk to somebody. Make a call, whoever you feel closest to in the congregation or around you, make the call. If not, like the Captain Box said, we gonna call people as well. That's why the elders implemented that call. Make that call every week. Check in, so we could just know what's going on mentally with you, as well as going on if you just want to talk about something, right? I got one more scripture, and then I'm gonna pass it to the elder. I want 2nd Ezra 7. Verse 7 and 8.
Salakia, Cap. Yeah, once you read this, I wanted to comment on that.
Oh, you want to comment now, or you want to wait for me to read it?
Yeah, no, go ahead. While Captain DeBach pulling it up, and you're absolutely correct, man. Us, especially us on this panel, right? We was groomed to not go to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Our upbringing told us not to seek counsel, not to seek therapy, not to seek that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? What we was told to do when we was growing up, walk it off, suck it up, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that was detrimental to our mental stability. You know what I'm saying? And then you get in these mind states, and then it trickles down to your children and so on and so forth. This is why statistically these things trickle down, and it starts to become younger and younger that these people start to act on these types of mental instabilities. You know what I'm saying?
Gone. That's a fact. That's why you get some of these kids, they I didn't get that job, and they go jump off a roof. They go kill themselves. They go drink a whole bunch of prescription pills. Like the elder said earlier, they know it's going to destroy them. And next thing you know, they foaming at the mouth. It's a heavy situation. It's not something to be taken lightly. All right. Let me just bring this out, 2nd Ezra real quick, because I want everybody to understand that when we come in this truth, it's a duality. right? Read that for me.
All right. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 8, right?
Start at verse 7 for me.
Verse 7, All right. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both.
Stop right there. 1 second. So the entrance thereof is narrow, letting you know everybody ain't coming through. And Micah Allah brought this out a couple of weeks ago about the class, right? About it's not for everybody. And it's set in a dangerous place. Well, why? Dangerous place to fall. Why is it set that way? Because we have to understand that the Most High is not going to give us more than we can bear, but we can't look for the easy way out. And suicide is the easy way out. Oh, I want to just get rid of all of these feelings I'm going through. Let me just in it. And that should not be the mindset of our people. Our people need to understand that there's a duality to this. Some people will have fire, which means they'll go through constant trials and tribulations and constant hard times. And some people will have water, deep water on one side, which means that their head got to stay above the water all the time. And they may not be able to do it without some assistance, right? So we got to be there for both sides of those type of individuals, not just one. Read 7 again, the last part.
To my 8 or
verse 7, the end part.
Okay. All right. And on the left, a deep water.
That's that deep water. Maybe above somebody's head. You ever heard that expression? Yo, I'm just barely above the water, right? That's what it's talking about. I'm just barely above the water, because they in the deep water. They in deep issues, deep situations that they may be going through, and they just barely above it, holding on by a thread. That's a lot of our people. Read verse 8.
And one only path between them both.
It's one path between both. That means some people will go through one thing, some people gonna go through other, but that one path, when you overcome that, you're gonna come down this one path. Read.
And between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once.
So we trying to get to that. That's the kingdom. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about getting to the kingdom, but it don't say nothing about it being easy. You're gonna get raptured up. It don't say none of that. It don't say none of that. It says that we're gonna go through a dangerous place. I want everybody to understand that this is what it is talking about. Suicide is a dangerous place for people to be in. That's not something to be taken lightly. I'm gonna land right there, Captain.
Okay.
Yeah, funny you say that, Zach. I'm gonna be super quick. I'm gonna hand it back to you, Debak, because I know you gotta structure how you doing this class. So I'm gonna be quick. You mentioned about like year 1999 and 2000, because we don't know when Yahushua coming back. That's the first thing. When you're new in this truth, when you become an Israelite, all the elders teach you that. You don't know when Yahushua come. Even when you was a Christian, they taught you that, right? You're supposed to know that. That's milk. So when brothers fell victim to that, right? Even certain elders fell victim to that year 2000 doctrine thing. That put a lot of people, that troubled a lot of people's spirit. You know what that's akin to? It's akin to when we did that class that we were showing them Africans waiting on the return, and Christ never came. It's akin to that. But that also leads to troubled spirit and could lead to depression and could also spiral down into suicide also, right? Because you didn't stay strong in the scriptures to understand, right? We got to go through the fire, right? And 2/3 is going to get cut off pursuant to Zechariah the 13th chapter, right? And the 1/3, the Lord is going to refine them like silver. So even if we make it, we still got to get refined. So you got to be in the right spirit, right? And like what Captain Zakaria said, this thing is not a joke. So you waiting on a certain time for the Lord to come. The Lord don't work on your timetable, Negro. We are but grasshoppers, according to the scriptures. We're like grasshoppers to the Lord. You know what a grass, when you cut the grass, you see them little grasshoppers jumping around. You like a giant to them. We're like a grasshopper to the Lord, right? So how dare you try to tell the Lord, yo, you coming now or else? Listen, it don't work like that. You're banging your head against the wall, you know. So I just wanted to bring that out. Go ahead, the bar.
Gone. All right, so how much longer we got? I don't think we got that much longer on here.
This could be a sign that you're silently struggling. Dark books, movies, and music. Ever found yourself getting hooked on dark books, movies, or music? You know.
Hey, and right here, I got to pause it already, right? I know I just started it, but this is why we tell brothers and sisters, hey, when you don't have the milk of the scriptures, you leave that stuff, leave the Enoch books, right? You leave all that, leave that stuff alone.
Tell them, please, one more time. One more time. Say it again, kid.
Literally. Enoch, the book of Adam and Eve. Man, leave all that stuff. Those are dark books, right? Those are dark books. And this is for the brothers in and out the truth, because both sides read, right? Both sides read. We living in a time of information, right? So it's either they're reading a book or they're reading a quote or they seen a clip on the internet that kind of got them looking at stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is why we say these things, right? We see the kids with these skulls, right? We know that the Northern Kingdom is heavy, having these skull heads and having all kind of manner of things that represent death. All these different tattoos. They into that stuff, right? They into that stuff. This is dark book. All of that stuff is witchcraft, right? This is why we have to teach our children, hey, we can't even let them watch certain things, right? Because their mind and their spirit can't handle it. We may think about how our parents brought us up, but our parents wasn't all the way right, right? We're not going to be all the way right either, but hey, you have an advantage. You remember your childhood, right? And now that you come into the knowledge of the truth, since you remember your childhood, you have to bring your child up in a different way, right? Like Elder brought out in Proverbs, right? All of these dark books, these dark movies, this stuff has different spirits on them, right? And these things drive people crazy.
The ones with heavy themes like death, sadness, or suicide. Think All the Bright Places and Dead Poet Society. Don't get us wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying darker art or fiction. But when these themes hit too close to home, it could be a sign that there's something heavy on your mind. Our preferences often mirror our emotions. So if darker content starts feeling too relatable, it might hint at underlying feelings. It's essential to recognize when your interests become a reflection of what's going on in your heart and mind, potentially indicating passive suicidal ideation. Dark artistic expression. Similarly, if you're a creative person, your passive suicidal ideation may manifest in your artistic expression, whether you're a writer, artist, photographer, or musician. A recurring theme of self-harm and death in these things you create can be a cause for concern. Artistic expression is a powerful outlet, but when it consistently revolves around self-harm and death, it could be your way of reaching out for understanding. Extreme risk-taking.
All right, so just pausing it right there. If you literally have children, right, you know what your children into, right? And a lot of that stuff they push, what's the name of that stuff, them little skeleton dial thing, Monster High. You know what I'm saying? You got young girls, they, into Monster High, right? Into the, skeleton bones. They drawing on themselves. They're doing all of these different kind of things, right? This is why you have to go in and talk to them. You teach these commandments to them. They're not drawing all over themselves, all over they in school. They have a notebook full of drawings. You know what I'm saying? They're not listening to nothing the teacher's saying. And you open that notebook, it's full of skeleton bones. You know what I'm saying? What they call them, little dark children that be wearing their little
Gothic.
Huh? Yeah, gothic, emo.
Emo, yeah, I can't stand that, man. Is emo short for emotion? Somebody educate me in the chat. Is that what it means, brother? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Is that a little weirdos? They
don't
put their hair over their face, like they perm
yeah.
the hair and put it.
Yeah, and they have on
It's
little
like-
leather pants with chains on them. Just
That's
all
a spirit, man.
Yeah, that's a wicked spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's literally a wicked spirit to have. And when your child is into these things, because it's mostly, you know, teenagers, you know what I'm saying, that's into those kind of things. And you gotta kind of be on it, right? In every single aspect. So go ahead. I don't know.
No, I just was gonna say, your answer got answered, Elder. At Maccabee CV said, yes, emo is emotion, aka emo rap.
Gun. I understand. Yeah, I get it, but me, I can't. My dad, man, my dad was rigid as hell, man. My dad did not spare the rod with me. Young, I didn't understand, but I'm glad he was like that, man. I'm glad now that I'm a man, looking back, I'm like, thank you. That kept me on the straight and narrow, even though I did my fair share of dirt. But the point is, like, maybe we should be a little bit stricter, right? Like the scripture said, bend them while they are young, right? So that when you see them going down that emo path, you got to kind of like pull them to the side. You could be stern but fair, depending if you have a daughter or a son. You could be fair but stern with them. Let them know that ain't the way, man. Like you said, Debak, you see them with skeletons and things of that nature. Yeah, that's a red flag. That's when you pull them to the side. Go ahead, King.
Okay. Right.
King behavior. Ever notice someone doing wild stuff out of the blue, like speeding, drunk driving, binge partying, or doing drugs? Sometimes when people are hurting inside, they try extreme things as a sort of escape. It's like their mind is saying, let's break free from this pain. So if you see a friend acting out like this, or notice yourself doing it, there might be more going on beneath the surface, such as passive suicidal ideation. So, have you spotted these signs in yourself or someone you know? Please share your thoughts in the comments down below.
All right. So, a whole bunch of partying, speeding, right? Which leads me to this, right? So, let me bring this out, right? So, this is literally at the end of their so-called 2025. I think this happened like November, right? And these next two things I'm going to show is literally they're ex-football players, right? So the first one, Dallas Cowboy player, nothing but 24 years old. You know what I'm saying? So let's watch this.
The family of a Dallas Cowboys player who died overnight is breaking their silence. In a post, they confirmed the death of Marshawn Kneeland. They called the 24-year-old kind, determined, humble, and full of love.
Yes, DPS says Kneeland died by suicide after a chase in Collin County. Our Meredith Yeomans has new video from that chase and how Kneeland's being remembered.
A memorial for Marshawn Kneeland.
Marshawn Kneeland will cover it for a touchdown.
A defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys who died just 2 days after scoring his first NFL touchdown.
I texted him Tuesday, giving him a congrats on his first touchdown.
Jabbar Mayhew is a friend and Kneeland's high school strength and conditioning coach in Michigan, who Kneeland gave credit to during an NBC5 Sports interview last year.
He's one of the reasons I am this big to even be able to do that.
Mayhew says Kneeland was hardworking and determined to succeed.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people got to see him play, but I felt like with the time we shared together, I had the best seat in the house, you know?
Wednesday night, DPS says it tried to stop a vehicle for a traffic violation on the Dallas North Tollway near Keller Springs, but the driver refused to stop. Newly released NTTA video shows troopers pursuing a vehicle, but DPS says the chase stopped when troopers lost sight of it. Minutes later, they found the vehicle, crashed and abandoned along the tollway near the Star. Police dispatch relaying a message from one of Kneeland's friends.
They just received a text from him, a group text saying from him saying goodbye, concern for his welfare.
DPS says Kneeland was found during a search of the immediate area around the crash, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
What did you think when you heard about the circumstances?
It's just not, it's like, I don't even know if it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Disbelief.
I could stop it right there. we get the drift, right? Self-inflicted, right? It's literally, and what was the last thing from that other video? It's literally driving crazy, right? Now, when you go more into this story, which I'm not going to do now, of course, but you go more into it, it tells you that the brother was struggling with the death of his moms, right? This is another thing that happens in our community that we don't know, right? And I'm talking about in and out the Israelite community, right? We don't know how to deal with death, right? We don't know how to deal with death. And some people it's going to affect more than others, right? So it goes back into checking to make sure brothers and sisters is good, right? Making sure, especially when it's in your own household too, right? You make sure that they're good. You ask, hey, you good today? You okay? You need to talk about anything, whatever the case may be. Because a lot of people, they don't understand the concept of death. And then even when you do understand the concept of death, right, it still hurts, right? It still hurts. Some people not as strong as others. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we're good as a people. You know what I'm saying? So death is another thing to look out for when anything happens, because almost at any point you have to consider almost everybody, especially like close-knit family, you have to consider them suicidal in a moment like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my child not here. I don't want to be here no more. Something happened to my mom's, something happened to my dad. What am I supposed to do now? Right? I leaned on them for everything. This is why you're supposed to lean on the Most High. Right? This is why you're supposed to lean on the Most High and not put your trust in man.
Hey, can I bring something out real quick?
Huh.
Because it is a difference, right? You sometimes got people that's brave, that would be willing to die bravely. That is not necessarily killing yourself when you put your life on a friend. When I'm talking about righteous ways, I'm not talking about going in the street and you say, and he in some trouble or she in some trouble, and you just like, hey, I'm gonna die with you. That's foolish. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says, do not go into the multitude to do evil. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is when you die and put your life on the truth for the Most High, because there's nothing wrong with that position. But the position of when we just want to take our lives over selfish reasons, and because we want to be weak like the nations, right? Because what was it? And in Genesis 25:23, it says 2 nations that are be in your womb.
Yeah.
And one's going to be stronger and the other one's going to be weaker, right? So the weaker is always the other nations, right? Their mindset, they can't handle what we can handle. What we're going through, they can't put their foot or their mouth to even think they can walk in our shoes, because they'll all kill themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can't handle when they missing a few $100s out their bank account. They ready to hit some drugs and ready to take themselves out and ready to jump off a high rise. Like, they can't handle what we have. But one thing that I do know that it's brave men that died for the nation of Israel, right? To save Israel, right? So let me get 2 Maccabees real quick, chapter 6. And you can start at verse 18. I think he was a priest, if I'm not mistaken. Eleazar, right? I want to bring him out for a reason, because sometimes taking your life because of you want to be brave for the nation of Israel, that is not committing suicide, right? Because that's showing that you're loving your people. And when you are dealing with people that's going through these things, you have to be very delicate having these conversations with them, especially when you know what I'm saying? You just can't be a hard nose and be like, man, get it together, or just go ahead and kill yourself. What you waiting on? We can't talk like that. We got to know how to talk to one another. We got to know how to embrace and even find a cure for one another, especially when it comes to these scriptures. Start at verse 18. Maccabees, 2 Maccabees, chapter 6.
Chapter 6, not chapter 8.
Oh my God. Hey, I agree with you. When I was younger, I was stupid. So if a person talked about killing themselves, I used to be like, shit, go do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you weak. Go ahead and do it. I ain't understand what they might have been going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said earlier, like the way we was groomed, you know, we really had no understanding. We had no idea. You know what I mean? Coming into the truth, then became an understanding. You know what I'm saying? But yep, you're absolutely correct, Doc.
No, those are facts because when we were growing up, that's what we did. We laughed when we heard it because we didn't take it serious. Like, man, you ain't about to do it, whatever. And then you find out they're really serious, then you like jaw drop. You know what I'm saying? Again, not knowing this truth, man, you're bound to give all kind of bad advice. No kind of encouragement. You're bound to give all kind of bad advice. Let me get 18 real quick.
That's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Mm-hmm.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously.
You did what?
Choosing rather to die gloriously.
To die gloriously, willingly, right? Because when you're doing the righteous thing, you're choosing to die for the Most High, right? When the Most High said, and I might butcher it because I'm not a good quoter when it comes to scripture, who gonna stand for me, right? So that also means who gonna die for me, right? He not saying like who gonna go out there and grab some pills and overdose on it or drink up your life away. He said who gonna stand for me and speak righteous and put your life on the line and die for me when the time comes. If it's your time, right? Go ahead.
But choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
Right, because you're going to have times where, that's like what they're doing. They're trying to force him to eat this swine because they sacrifice it to another god. See, and these are the righteous moments of being brave. Like, hey, I'm not giving in to that. Like, if you're going to kill me, then you're going to have to do what you got to do because I'm not about to leave. I'm not about to be listening to you eating this, and I know it's an abomination according to our God, right? Go ahead.
As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in doing so he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as it became his age and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by word. Therefore he answered accordingly and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
Hey, he like, hey, just take me out because I'm not doing it. That's a bravery way of leaving the earth. That's not killing yourself. See, when you're trying to kill yourself, and like it been said on this panel, is because you don't even know how to handle life. The Most High said, choose life or death. When you don't understand what life is really about, then guess what? Your mindset is going to go in that rabbit hole. When you don't understand that you are committed to be a follower of the Most High, a ruler of this earth, and you don't understand these things, then guess what? When you see the trials and tribulations, you have nowhere to go. So the best place to go is for you is to leave out of here. But you got a man like this that say, like, in old age, like, no, I'm not going to eat this up. You're going to kill me. Go ahead and kill me. You want to die for something that's right. You don't want to die for something because you just want to be angry and selfish about everything, and you don't even know how to come to a neighbor and speak your problem. Right?
Salaki.
Khan, I agree with you, King. I agree with you a whole lot. Salaki Michaela. I just wanted to say this, man. When you read the scriptures, right, and when it deals with suicide or things of that nature, right, it normally is in two categories, right? It's either some type of you're dying honorable, like what Sergeant Michaela just brought out, or it's some type of shame or wrongdoing. We all know the perfect example of that, right? We know who that is. The one that shall be not named, Judas, in the book of Matthew 27. That's the perfect example of somebody dying in shame. Because when you look at Matthew 27, 3 on down, I believe, it tells you that Judas, after he sold Yahushua out, then the spirit jumped on him. He's like, damn, I did the wrong thing. And after he gave back the 30 pieces of silver, right, then he hung himself, right? So that's a form of shame. And there's other instances too. I had this. I was going to bring this out, but for the sake of time, I won't. But Second Samuel and also First Kings talk about men killing themselves out of shame because of betrayal. But you also have honor, such as what the brother brought out. There's another scripture in Second Maccabees that showed another man who also would rather die than let the enemy kill him. Those are honorable ways of dying. So I agree with what you're saying, Michaela. That's perfect. But when you put that in the lens of today, 2026, our people, they not even in the spirit like to ready to die for the Lord. Most Negroes, they rather die for a flag or die for whatever the case may be. Nowadays, because the so-called war is going on, right? People are going to die for a country. Not even so much the Most High, right? So we got to look at this in the lens of modern time now. It's not so much honor anymore. So that leaves one thing left: shame of wrongdoing. That's what suicide is kind of lumped into now. Brothers and sisters, they feel the shame of doing something wrong, or they're leaning on their own understanding. Slakia, Mike Ali, you wanted to say something?
Khan, I was going to say the question that's going to be posed. So us in Israel, we have an understanding of these things, right? We have a very clear understanding to die with honor and to not die with honor. You know what I'm saying? But let's say you have a family member that falls into these categories and they become suicidal and they not in the truth, but you love them. This is what a lot of Israel is going to, that's the question that a lot of Israel is going to pose, because they're going to be like, I love them, me and my cousin or something like that is very close. And they decided to make this decision, but they wasn't in the truth. So they're not going to follow the things that the Most High said. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. And even at that point, this is why we literally, gotta be watchmen. You know what I'm saying? Like I started out the class literally with Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're not only just watching out for the righteous, right, or for the ones that's attempting to follow commandments. We're watching out for everybody. We have to go out and warn everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not to do wickedly. You know what I'm saying? So when we see all of these things happening with these football players, it's another one that I'm gonna show. I won't ain't no video really for it. But literally 3 weeks ago, right? That's not it. So 3 weeks ago, this brother, right? Rondell Moore. So this is another young brother. I think he was 25 or 26 years old, right? It literally, he got hurt, right? And then just as, like I said, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, right? He did, same thing, self-inflicted gunshot wound, right? Now, I haven't necessarily went into this story, but my guess is what the sisters was putting in the chat, right? When they was, talking about the different drugs that's being prescribed, things of that nature, right? This is somebody that tore his ACL, right? This past football season, right? And then I think the year before he hurt himself, you know what I'm saying? And he was out for the entire year again, right? So just imagine you literally taking these pain meds that they're giving you and all of these different things. And then on top of you not being able to go out and do what you train to do, right? You train to be a football player. This is your life. This is your job. You know what I'm saying? So now you're feeble-minded, and now you're literally like, man, I can't take this 2 years in a row of this happening to me. You know what I'm saying? You never really know what somebody's dealing with, right? So this is why it's important when Sister Malika does the classes on these different herbs, because we don't need the medicine, right, to literally live, right? You do it for when you literally in whatever pain or ailment that you're dealing with, and then you get off of it. Because these are the things that start to happen. It starts to create crazy thoughts inside your mind. Right? It starts to create crazy thoughts inside your mind. Now, you don't even know what to do no more. Right? You're too prideful to talk to other people. Right? So let's go real quick. I'm going to go to Sirach, right? And I'm going to verse 37 because this is important.
And while you bring it out, let me finish my point, what I was trying to get, right? So go ahead and get what you was going to get. But my whole point of bringing Eliezer out was to show you that, hey, it's men that can die bravely, right? And if you read into that chapter, you see that it was expressing to show how we should not follow and start doing things what we're not supposed to do. And that's us as a community. We should be standing out there like we're supposed to do, is bring the scriptures out to the whole entire world. That's our job. Our job is to reach the people. And our job is to gather everybody, because that's showing a brave mindset that we are going against the grain, against this world, and against the evil, wicked things that's coming from our enemy. Our job is to be brave like that. That was the example I was kind of going into, so we can change the narrative, because no one's stepping up and speaking for our own people. So yeah, is we in the world of a situation where no one's wants to listen, and everybody want to go through here and go through Google to find out how to live life? Absolutely. But for us as leaders, we have to step up and we have to make a stand so we can change the chapter, because when the world's teaching our young ones thinking this is the way to go. So it's our job, again, like you said earlier, being a watchman. We have to be watchmen and leaders over the young, over the old, and to the women. And I'll land there.
Okay. Right, you're 100% correct. And this is why we have to push them, right? We have to push them to literally do this thing, right? So start at verse 7. This Sirach 34.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37. You said verse 4?
Yeah, 30. Actually, Salakia, 37 and verse 7.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 7. Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counsel for himself. Beware of a counselor, and know before what need he have, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee. And say unto thee, why thy way is good. And afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee.
All right, so we gotta literally push brothers towards counsel, right? But you also, when you're doing that, the brother has to be proven, right? You can't just counsel with a brother that's been in the truth for 1 year, for 1 month. Right, just because y'all cool, y'all grew up together, now he doesn't have the right scriptures to give you, right? Next thing you know, he could be doing it literally to overthrow you one day, because he wants to take your position, right? So yes, we push people to counsel, but as we're pushing the counsel, brothers and sisters, beware of brothers like this, right? Because this thing is here. And guess what happens from counsel like this, right? once the brother found out, again, you crossed me, you did this, you did that. Hey, don't nobody love me. That's going right back into that rabbit hole. Right? It's like a circular thing. Right? All of these things are involved with brothers and sisters not wanting to be here no more, wanting to take themselves out. Right? Real quick too, because I want to get this, just for the sake of time. I wanted to pull this up because I know Micah Allah was talking about the different numbers, right? So this 2024, right? So it's the suicide death and death rates per 100,000 population by death and ethnicity, right? And then also Elder Zahab even mentioned this, right? And even said, like, this is the spirit of Esau. We can see this number, right? I can't highlight it, but this number out of, right, 48,824 in the United States, out of those is 36,500, right, of Esau. Right? That's literally about 65 to 70%. This is literally, suicide is literally the spirit of Esau. Right? And of course, over time, our numbers and things of that nature, they started to climb up. Right? But you have Black and Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? Blacks is about 3,800 of those that was reported in 2024. Hispanics, 5,300. You know what I'm saying? So these numbers, they did start to rise for us. But again, this is the spirit of Esau. We're not to take on that spirit. Right? We're created stronger than that. Our ancestors literally were slaves on a slave ship. Right? That literally, I'm talking about, it's some that made it from the time that they left, right, till they got into the shores of West Virginia, right? From the time that they left, they made it, and they survived those different conditions. Look at our people in the wintertime, right? You just go to your local gas station or liquor store, right? You see this same person out here, they're surviving winters, right? In states where it gets negative degrees. And then we not talking about, they going into the side of a shelter. Right? They're literally outside. They're in that same spot. When you get up in the morning to go to work or something, you stop at a gas station, they're in that same spot. Right? Look at how strong we are as just on a flesh level. Right? But that's how much more stronger we can be when we has the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta realize these things, man, and we gotta start like talking about these things, you know what I'm saying, especially with brothers and sisters in the truth, and especially out the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we recognize, you can see certain signs. We can't be blind and caught off guard when things happen. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is, inside your family, right, and they're literally, they do this thing, right? I heard something go off. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that is. Right, I heard I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Hey, somebody is in here. Just say one. So it is. You got to scroll down some, Debat.
Hey, Debat, can I add to that? I want to read some.
You want to pull it up? You can show your screen. You'll be able to share your screen.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Y'all see that? This is just an overview, right? It says suicide rates for Black and Hispanic population in the U.S. generally lower than for white and Native American populations, but they are rising significantly. Between 2018 and 2021, suicide rates increased by 19.2% for Black individuals and 6.8% for Hispanic individuals. Statistics include a 37% surge in suicides among Black youth 10 through 24 years old from 2018 to 2021. and high rising rates among Black and Hispanic males. Says rate data, the age-adjusted suicide rate for non-Hispanic, Black, or African American persons was 8.7 per 100,000, increase from 2018 to 2021. The rate increased from 7.3 to 8.7. Let's drop down a little.
Hold on, Salaki. Could you go back up a little bit, King? Just a little bit. Right there. Stop.
Yeah.
Where it says, oh my God, you just had it. Right there, youth and gender. You see that right there, King?
Yep.
Did you read that?
Absolutely. Black individuals aged 10 through 24 saw a 37% increase in suicide rates between 2018 and 2021.
See what I'm saying? Remember what I was saying, brothers and sisters, about the adolescent, anywhere between pre-teens going into their early 20s. Remember I was saying that earlier? All praise to the Most High. Now look, this data is being brought out to show proof. 37% increase. That's when they at the age they feeling themselves. Yo, you can't tell them nothing. I want to go experience what life is about. And that's when the enemy is throwing so much things at them. And I'm gonna stand on this. This technology right now, it has demonic influences. Trust me when I tell you that, brothers and sisters. We are adults, so we know how when we use social media, things of that nature, we can cut it off. You got a cutoff switch, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. At least most of us, I should say. For youth, and your mind is still developing, and you're absorbing social media, and all you want to do is deal with that, you will easily succumb. You will succumb to the wiles of the devil. You will succumb to a lot of this technology and a lot of these underhanded issues and topics they pushing, like what Captain Dabak brought out earlier in the first video, when you seen themes in these videos about death and destruction and demonic and all paranormal activity, all that foolishness, right? You add that to video games, you add that to chat rooms, music, it just never stops. And I think the ages between 10 and 24, that's the perfect age for them to attack. So I just wanted to bring that out.
Real quick, if I may. Shalom, brothers, by the way. It's priest, by the way. Shalom, brothers.
Priest.
Hey,
yeah, hold on. I'm not gonna take away from what y'all are doing. Y'all in the spirit, y'all doing an amazing job. I just want to share just a couple of things. I'm gonna pass it right back to Captain Dabak after I'm done, if you guys don't mind. Hey, whoever is sharing the screen, can you scroll to the top, please?
Absolutely.
So we're looking at the ratio from between 2018 and 2021, according to what this is showing us, right? Now, you guys can stop sharing for 1 second. I'm going to share. I want you guys to keep in mind that's 2018 to 2021, right? So the suicide rates were about 19%, according to what that was saying. Now, I'm going to share my screen for a second. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to share my entire screen because I'm going to toggle from tab to tab, right? So the first thing I want to show you guys is that in 2022, according to the CDC, which did not exist many years ago, there were 49,000 suicides in the United States, right? Which averaged about 14.3%. For every 100,000 individuals, 14.3 people would commit suicide. This is in 2022. I want to come to the tab right here. During the time of the Great Depression, which is around 1932, the average of people killing themselves was higher. Now, I haven't looked at the website Dabak was using, that he was showing the percentage of Black people versus white people, but I have a sneaking suspicion if we looked at the suicide rate in 1932, the people that were killing themselves because of finances and not being able to pay bills, that was at 22.1%, which is higher than ever. This is the highest percentage-wise rate of suicide ever, was during the Great Depression, and white people were killing them. They're not used to struggle the way we are. Going back to what Dabak was talking about earlier, where we're used to coming out of our house and seeing needles and trash and all these different things, and we're not able to pay bills, whatever. We are used to this. So under normal circumstances, when there's financial trouble, we don't kill ourselves, but white people do because they're not used to this. I want you guys to understand that. Well, this is coming back. And the reason why I came in is because back then, this is mainly white folks offering themselves. But now, because black people are more likely to offer themselves as well, when the Bible speaks about what's getting ready to come, where there's going to be less jobs, there's going to be less this, less that, we're not going to be able to support ourselves financially, so forth and so on. We already know a lot of our people are going to be more likely to kill themselves, not because it's in our nature, but because this is what white folks do. And a lot of our people basically pattern themselves off what white people do. I can't make it. I'm not be able to pay my bills, whatever. She got me on child support, whatever the situation might be, and they kill themselves. This is very, very important. That's why this class is so, so beautiful. And I'm glad that brothers did this class, because it's very, very important, because the mindset of our people have changed because we have followed after these other nations. And when we can't make it, as opposed to before in ancient times, and even in more modern times, when we couldn't make it, we made a way where there was no way. That was our mindset back then. But now we've adopted the mindset of white folks. And that's why brothers are doing this class. You can't have that mindset because we already know what's going to come. Things are going to get hard, right? There may be times when you may not in the future eat for a day or two. That's just is what it is, right? There may be so much food. You have a family. You as the man, you can't eat to make sure your wife and your children eat, right? So forth and so on. We already know what's coming. The Bible speaks about this. There's going to be famines, pestilences, etc., etc. That still is not a reason to kill yourself whatsoever. We can't follow the pattern of white people. This is what they did. They killed themselves when financially they couldn't make ends meet during the Great Depression. These things are about to come back and circle again. So even if there's not a pattern of Israelites offering themselves the way there is of so-called white people, this class is still important to tell our people that you are already being prepared and groomed and letting you know through the scriptures that these things are going to come back. When things happen to you, take it cheerfully. Let's go to the next tab. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." As soon as trouble comes, you're ready to off yourself because things are not going your way. Wrong. Cleave unto him, meaning understand that the Most High has you in this position, and it might be to refine you. And depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Real quick, I'm being slain right now. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being slain right now. I'm going through things. I'm being slain right now. And myself and Elder Zahab, we bounce things off each other. A couple of months ago, it was him. He was going through something. I ain't gonna say what. And he caught me in the midst of what he's going through. And he was like, "Paris, I'm going, this is going, whatever." And I talked to the brother, whatever. And now I find myself in the same position. And just Friday, I was texting him and I was laughing at myself. "Hey, bro, look at him. I was on 10 and now I'm on 3. I've been brought low." And we're just laughing about it because that's what it is. That's what it is. So take it cheerfully. The scriptures warn us. Don't be like the other nations and want to off yourself just because you're going through something. It's okay. Things happen, right? And these things are prophesied to happen again. There's going to be some things that we're all going to go through again in the future. It is still not a reason to kill yourself. It's still not a reason to have pity on yourself. You got to kind of laugh at it and get through it and move on. But the difference between us and other nations is we have patience and comfort of the scriptures. A lot of our people that are not in the truth, they don't have that. The other nations definitely don't have that. But let's use the scriptures for what they are. Read about what happened to our forefathers. Read Hebrews chapter 11, where our foreparents were going through different things and how they overcome. That's what Hebrews 11 is for. It says we have such a great cloud of witnesses. And you go down and you read about all the things that our forefathers and foremothers experienced and overcame. And that is our mandate today. You're going to go through things, you experience it and overcome. And as y'all brother said earlier, I'll land right here. Also be that brother or sister that is there for other brothers and sisters that's going through some things, and to give them that same strength, check in on them, call them, so forth and so on, and help them be able to overcome as well. Hey, brothers, beautiful class. I think there's definitely a need for a part 2 or maybe even a part 3 because there's so much nuance to this topic. You brothers did a great job. I'm gonna land with that. Debak, you got it, bro.
Okay. Right. Definitely 100% correct. We definitely groomed for it, right? And we've been groomed. Let me pull my screen back up. Right. So, or no, this is my screen. Slocky.
That was my fault. I was still sharing. That's my bad. You got it, bro.
Yeah.
You're good now.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the curses. Right. We got to figure out exactly where this came from, where this mindset came from. Right. We know what verse 15 says, do 28 and 15, right? But let's keep going. Let's see. There's some things happen. Right. So let's start at let's pick it up at verse 20 and we're gonna jump.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Right, because we forsaken the Most High, He's put all of these things in our mind and then embedded it into our spirit. Right. So this is where the thoughts come from. But guess what? Like Priest just said, we're literally going to be prepared for this thing. Right. When we're not eating for days, a lot of us grew up that way. Right. Our children don't necessarily have to go through what we did. And then we didn't have to go through what our parents went through either. Right. I'm sure they had plenty of nights where they probably didn't eat. You know, me as a child, I might have had a couple, you know, here and there. It wasn't nothing like it was no food in there. I'm just being, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing that I wanted. Right. So I just decided not to eat. But you still know the struggle of not having much. Right. When you didn't have much, my mom's favorite line, go in there and fix a sandwich. Right. It's because it wasn't no food in there necessarily that she didn't cook or whatever. But hey, you know, I just decided not to do it. It was literally us preparing ourselves through these curses. We get prepared for hard times, right? So we also got to take, as well as we take the good from the Most High, we got to take the bad as well, right? So let's jump down to verse 28. And actually, let me switch the versions real quick because I want you to read this in the GNT, right? I don't see GNT up here. Let's go to NLT. All right, so go ahead. 28.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord will strike you with madness, blindness, and panic.
Madness, blindness, and panic. Right? You're gonna panic when these things come upon you. Right? This is literally a curse. And a lot of people don't realize that this is why we have to, you know, literally go through things with one another. We can't look down on the next brother or sister because they're dealing with something, because they're not responding in the way that you would respond, right? Just because you wouldn't respond with killing yourself don't mean somebody else wouldn't, right? So we have to take that and we have to literally, as a matter of fact, instead of just quoting it, let's grab it. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. All right, 4 and verse 9.
All right, that's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 9. Two people are better off than one, but they can help each other succeed.
Go ahead.
If one person falls, the other can reach out and help.
See that? The other can reach out and help. You can't be in this truth alone, right? You can't be in this world alone. Go ahead.
But someone who falls alone is in real trouble.
Why? Because there's nobody there for him, right? And the one that is alone is usually the one that either just dies off or decides to do it the quicker way and take themselves out, right? And this is why this class goes like toe to toe, you know what I'm saying, with the class that you pulled out last night, because a lot of those things that you pulled out last night, is literally why people take their own lives. Right? But we got to understand and literally, be I'm trying to find the exact word to use, but we just got to be there for one another. Right? We got to be there for one another.
Salakia, Cap, can I add to that real fast?
Go ahead.
Can you pull up 2nd Esdras 14 and 17? 14 and 17. That's right.
It's 14, 17.
And the reason I'm pulling this is because, we talked about the generations below and stuff like that, and Kevin DeBach is talking about how we got to be there for one another. Definitely, because our generation is becoming weaker, right? Go ahead, whoever's going to read.
Just the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 17. But look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein.
See what I'm saying? So through generations, it's going to become weaker. And it's easier for evil to trickle upon them. You see what I'm saying? They become more and more vulnerable. So this topic and this subject that we're talking about is very easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. Like the box said, they'll take the easy way out, right? It's easy for them to do that because they become weaker and weaker. You know what I'm saying? Like Elder Zahab said, with social media, with technology, and so on and so forth, we didn't have that growing up. Me, Mike, Allah, DeBach, we didn't have all that. We was outside.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not. So they're becoming weaker and weaker, and it's easy for evil to get in. And then when stuff doesn't go their way, they fall subject to, like suicide and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to us as the older and stronger generation to try to make them step away from that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Social media and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I try to make my sons, and they're in the prime, like 22 years old, 21 years old, stuff like that. So I try to do stuff like I'll work out with them. You know what I mean? I try to do stuff like they bring their babies over and we all chill and kick it and, you know what I mean, and talk and laugh and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get them out of that social media. So it's our job to try to defend them from the thing that's crippling them. You see what I'm saying?
Real quick, let me add to that because that's so facts. Like you have to, as parents, we have to monitor our children's business. We as parents never should say that the child has his own business. We have to be the one to interrupt their business, right? Because again, like you said, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. Hey, the younger parents are just as weak as the younger children because they're not checking what their children is into. Right now, Google is the parent. Now the new mom now is ChatGPT now. So whatever the mom and dad says to do, it doesn't connect to what Google and ChatGPT says to a child. So we are the one that needs to infrastructure and change the whole thing because you are a parent to be ruling and showing them and making an example. So again, it's getting weaker because we're allowing technology to take over. And we are the ones that supposed to slow that down and control it. So there's nothing wrong with being on social media, but you gotta mind your time, just like you gotta mind your time with wicked people. All right, I'll land there.
Okay. All right, so I got a couple more. All right, so I'm gonna go back to Wisdom of Solomon. And I want to go to chapter 2, right? I want to go to chapter 2, and we're going to start it out at verse 1. Right? We're going to jump. I'm going to read verse 1 through 5. We jumping down to verse 20.
All right. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and starting at verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not at right.
Right? So they're not right. Right? So Solomon is letting you know, hey, this is what the ungodly is saying. They're reasoning with themselves, but they're not getting it right. But let's see what they said. Go ahead.
Our life is short and tedious.
This is what people that either want to commit suicide say, or before they do it, this is what they say. They say, hey, it's short and tedious, right? It don't really matter. Right? Go ahead.
And in the death of a man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Right? If you do that, if you take yourself out, it's nobody come. You can't bring yourself back, like I said earlier, right? Go ahead.
For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
All right. So once we off this earth, right, the spirit is gone, the flesh is gone. Right? Read this next one.
And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof.
Right. So this is what wicked people believe. Ungodly people, they believe this. But when we read in Proverbs, right, it literally says that a good name is better than precious gold. Right? I might be butchering it, but that's what it says. It's a good name is better. Why? Because that name is going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be through just you, whether it be through your children, right? Through the generations to come, that name is going to live forever. We're still talking about Moses and Abraham right now today. Right? We're still talking about Yahushua right now today. That those names are in remembrance. Right? So we shouldn't think like this. This is why Solomon is writing this. We shouldn't be thinking like this. All right, keep going.
For our time is a very shadow that passes away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again.
All right, read the next one.
Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
All right, go ahead.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments.
All right, let us get drunk. Right? Let's go party. All right, go ahead.
And let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Right? So they're literally partying, they're doing these drugs that cause them to this action. Right? And we understand this is what the ungodly do. Right? So this is what we have to show people. Right? And we literally have to put that ball in their court and say, do you want to continue to be ungodly, or do you want to be righteous? Do you want to not keep the laws of God and choose death, or do you want to keep them and choose life? Right? Does that mean your flesh not is going to live forever? It don't necessarily mean that, because you're going to perish off of this earth. But what you're going to leave behind, right? What are you going to leave behind to show your children? What are you going to leave behind to show your congregation? Right? You can literally teach from the grave. Right? This is why these classes is being put out here. Right? Because it may come a day that we're not here anymore. And what are you going to have to go back to? What are you going to have to go off of? Right? So this is why it's important to not only just be in class, right? Take notes. Right? Go back and watch classes over and over again. Right? This is why I pulled up the class the priest did. Right? I think it was about 13, 14 years ago, it said. Right? I pulled it up because at the end of it, it's something that was put out there. And guess what? You can take it, you can build on it. Right? Until you perfect it. So let's jump down verse 21.
All right, verse 21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them.
All right, go ahead.
As for the mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not.
So they didn't know. They didn't know the mysteries. So they chose to off themselves. Right? They chose to do that. But since we know the mysteries of the Most High, guess what? It's our job to try to make sure that that don't happen, to try to bring as many back to righteousness as possible. All right, go ahead.
Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern the reward for blameless souls. For Yahweh created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
See that? We know that Yahweh don't die. Right? He created us to be just in his image of his own eternity. Right? But when we choose the ways of the world, this is the mindset we get trapped with. Right? And I don't know about y'all. I don't want to be in the world like this continuously. Right? So we're going to continue to put out classes after classes until the Most High tell us not to. Right? Read this last one.
Verse 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Right? You're going to find it. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. Right? If you seek death, you're going to find it eventually. Right? So last one I'm going to do, and then I'll let brothers, y'all can add if y'all want to. Psalms 34, right? This is just a little comfort.
Salakia, I was gonna say Psalms 34. Now, if I say the right verse, hold on, don't.
Oh, Salakia.
Okay, Salakia. All right, you did it. That's the spirit, because I was gonna go to Psalms 34 too, because what you said was so powerful. Oh, Salakia, man, let me not cut the spirit. Go ahead, brother. We on the same page. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, I was just gonna say, yep. Hey, that's correct too. You gonna find what you're looking for.
Okay. All right, so we're going 17 through 19.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles.
All right, so hey, when we in this thing, we got to continuously cry to the Lord. We can't take our own problems into our own hands, right? Because guess what? That can very well be us, right? He can give you over to a reprobate mind, to where you fall off. And I'm talking about the brother that seems like he's the most righteous. Right? That can happen. But we have to continuously humble ourselves, right? And we got to continuously cry to the Lord in our time of trouble so that we don't fall into that spirit. Right? Go ahead.
The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart.
And this is what we have to tell them, right? When we're calling and checking on people, right? Or if we dealing with somebody directly that literally says, "Hey, I've been contemplating suicide." This is a perfect scripture to read to them, right? The Lord is near unto you, right? You have a broken mindset. The Lord is here for you. You just have to cry out to him, right? Go ahead.
And saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
All right, go ahead.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
All right, many are your afflictions. Why? Because the curses that's written in Deuteronomy and in the book of Leviticus 26, chapter 26, all of these afflictions are upon you, right? But the Lord is going to deliver you, not when you want to be delivered, right? But when he sees fit. So even until then, even when you come into the knowledge of this truth, even when you start to keep the Sabbath, you keep Passover, so on and so forth, guess what? You're still going to go through things. It's not a reason to give up. Although you may feel like it, you got to continue to fight. This is why it literally says in Matthew, hey, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Right? And I'm going to land there. Y'all brothers can, add anything before we close out.
Hey, can we stay in Psalms 34? Can we jump back up to verse 8? Because what you said was powerful too. Also, what you was bringing out in Wisdom of Solomon too. It's our job to teach our brothers and sisters too, right? Because if they knew about the Lord, they would have an out, so to speak. They would have a remedy to their problems, right? Because the Lord never leave the distress. If you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord got you. He got you. And if you don't, if for whatever reason you're going through something, it's because the Lord is just purifying you. See, that's what they don't know. So our job is to teach them. I agree with you 1,000%. Verse 8.
All right, verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good.
Right. Try it. Like you try a certain food, dish, whatever, and you're like, oh, this is good. Yeah, taste of the Lord and see that he is good. If the people was going through whatever calamity they going through or whatever distress they going through, if they was to try the Lord, they'll see that the Lord is good. Read on.
Blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
Right. We have to put our trust in the Lord, not in ourselves and not in technology, because there's no answer. There is no help. That can't help you. Nothing. It's like when the prophets was scolding Israel for bowing down to idols that cannot move. Their needs must be born. You got to put them on your back and move them around. They're dumb idols. They cannot. The Bible says they're dumb idols. Technology is dumb. Why you think AI is only as good as us? Because it takes our information. You see what I'm saying? It's like a dumb idol. Without us, it cannot move. Without them building data centers, it's powerless, right? Without us, there is no internet, so to speak. So everything is from us, but we have to trust in the Lord. We can't trust in man, right? Verse 9.
Verse 9. Oh, fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him.
You ain't got to worry about nothing. And this is what we got to teach our people, and this is their relief, right? If we teach them the law, statutes, and commandments, right, and know that the Lord will deliver us in times of want, right, and there is no want to them that fear him, then why would you contemplate suicide? The reason why they contemplate suicide is because they don't know the goodness of the Lord. They don't know. Had they known, but again, it's too late when you're in the grave. There's no crying out in the grave. It's too late. Like what Captain Nabak read in, was it Wisdom of Solomon? Once you pass, your spirit evaporate like smoke. Your body starts to decay. You go back to the dust. It's too late for you. But had you known this, you would have made a better choice. That's why it's our job to go out there, stand on the highways and byways and teach our people. Give them that better choice. Now, if we give you the right choice, or we arm you with the scriptures and teach you, and if you choose to make the wrong decision, well, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
We did what we were supposed to do. I yield right there.
Let me get one real quick. Let me just get 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 12. We'll start at 11 and 12.
You said chapter 6.
Yeah. Just words of encouragement, because our people do need always encouraging, right? So let me get verse 11.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 11. But thou, O man of God, flee these things.
Right. Flee from all these depressions, right? Flee from all the thoughts that we occur on a daily basis, right? You know what I'm saying? We got the scriptures to heal us. No matter what we need and whatever we're going through, the scriptures are here to heal us, right? Go ahead.
And follow after righteousness.
Right. That's the Bible, right?
Godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness.
When you understand the law, these are all 5 categories that we follow when we're going through the law, right? But go ahead.
Fight the good fight of faith.
Do what?
Fight the good fight of faith.
It takes faith to continue to walk in this truth when you're going through hardship. You got to believe that the Most High is going to see you through. You have to wait on him and be patiently waiting on him with your faith, because without your faith, you lose everything. You start scrambling and moving around in different directions, trying to figure things out on your own. But when you don't have patience and you don't have the righteousness and you don't have faith and you don't have the meekness in your spirit, you're capable of doing all kind of crazy things. Rather, if you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt a loved one. You know what I'm saying? So, but you got to put up the good fight, because you're going to go through trials and tribulations in this life. Go ahead.
Lay hold on eternal life.
Right, lay hold on it, right? Just knowing that, like, I know that it's hard, but I know at the end it's going to get better. You know, rulership is coming for us, and we don't even understand what that is like. We understand what struggling is like. We know what hatred is like. We know what taking and killing one another like, getting high. We know what that's like, but we never experience of knowing what it's like to have eternal life of rulership. We don't know what that's like. So that's why we got to put the good fight. Go ahead.
Whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses.
Right. You have to be known. You have to be shown out there. How are we going to show it? Is go out there and start teaching and making classes. You got to make sure you put on that good profession. Put on that faith. Be an example, because that's the only way when you can talk to another brother and sister that's going through the ins and outs and ready to take themselves. You have to be an example, and you have to show them scriptures. You got to be really ready and be acknowledgeable to show them what's wrong and what the Most High thinks about you doing something like that. So I just wanted to land there with that.
Okay. Anybody else want to bring out anything before we close out?
Go ahead. I'll go after whoever was.
I was just gonna say, Con, I agree with Priest. We might have to do a second or third class of this. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all brothers having me on this panel. You know what I mean? And you know, let's keep putting in this work, man.
Yep, great lesson, Captain DeBach. Great lesson. Definitely agree with Sergeant Michael Allah. Definitely need to be a part 2, part 3. Glad to be here. Would love to be here for the 2 and 3 parts. I just got 2 scriptures and I'm done. I want to do Deuteronomy chapter 10, oldie but goodie, classic, verse 12 and 13. And I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on brothers to do this class. And yeah, let's read verse 12 and 13.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
The Lord's statutes and commandments, to love the Lord, to walk in all his ways, that's for our good. That's what it's for. It's to help prevent us from taking our own lives. It's to help prevent us from going astray. That's what it's for. It's for our good. So we should be enduring this, and we should be doing this, keeping the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which was commanded to us from the Most High God Yahweh. And I'll land with that. The water again, King.
Con. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man.
Beautiful class, King.
Con, all praises.
Great class. Everybody for stepping in. Great class, brother. Way to bring up, man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all, all y'all brothers for joining. You know, I definitely wanted to bring it out this way, you know, because it's definitely a subject that more than one person can contribute to. You know what I'm saying? And whether they choose to share their own experience, you know what I'm saying, or just a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? It's no amount of different perspectives that could be, you know, satisfying enough for people. You know what I'm saying? So, and I will say that Captain Ira a couple weeks ago, when he literally knew that we was gonna do this class, he already told me. He literally said, "Hey, we got to do a part 2, King." He's like, "We got to do a part 2," and so you know, who's ever on that class, hey, it's all praise.
If I may, if y'all brothers and sisters appreciated the class from these mighty teachers of Israel, man, I love these brothers, man. They gave the priests, you know what I'm saying? These brothers are great brothers, great classes. And by the way, if y'all enjoyed the classes, just understand these brothers do classes all week. So make sure that you're in the Friday night class, the Thursday night class, the Wednesday night class. Make sure that y'all brothers are in all these classes, and sisters. Subscribe to the channel. But if y'all want a part 2, can I see part 2 in the chat? Can we do that? Let's do that. If y'all want to see a part 2 in the chat, put part 2 in the chat.
Hey, while they checking out the chat, there's so much stuff we didn't. I thought you was going one way, King. You went another way. I thought y'all was going this way. I was like, oh, because I was prepared for another way. But you know what? All praise. I was going in
part 2. We see
yeah, because
y'all see that they need more.
Yeah, man.
Because there's some stuff I'm gonna talk to brothers about on a conference call tomorrow behind the scenes, because there's another dimension of suicide that's very touchy. We ain't gonna do it here. I'm gonna talk to them first. There is a dimension of suicide that's very touchy. So we have to really go in the scriptures and really extrapolate how even that touchy thing that might seem like that makes sense it's still wrong. I'll talk to y'all about that in the conference call tomorrow. But y'all seen the part 2s, right? They debak. You see that, right? They want you to run it back. So I'm waiting on the text. You to tell me, priest, I got the class. That's it. You're gonna run it. That's it.
Hey, I just said that, right? The buck.
All praises. All praise to the Most High. Hey, the Most High gonna run it. So
we need a part 2. Yo, man, it's a lot of death in the scriptures too that could be labeled as suicide, and we ain't even touch on too. We'll deal with that in part 2, because we ain't even touch on Saul. Saul fell on his own sword.
Saul and his armor bearer.
Bust his belly open. Another dude hung himself. I thought he was gonna touch it.
What was his name? That didn't
Ahithophel.
His counsel wasn't received.
Yeah, Ahithophel. I got all that lined up. I got 2 Samuel. I have, but you know what though? It's good that we went in the spirit, because this brother, he took it to a place that's topical as right now, dealing with young adults, dealing with different things of that nature that's going on right here, right now, that makes it timely. You understand? And maybe the next time we could go from a historical point of view. I mean, there's so many different ways we could take it, but at the end of the day, to the Abba be the glory, and I'm glad that people got edified and the word went out.
We're gonna give y'all a spoiler alert though. Whatever way we take it, suicide is wrong regardless. So we're gonna hit every angle that y'all might think we're gonna hit, that the Bach is talking about, that Zahab is talking about. We're gonna do that. There's gonna be a part 2, maybe even a part 3. But spoiler alert, suicide is wrong every time. Doesn't matter why. But we'll leave that there. The Bach, you got it, man.
That's it for me. Hey, Shalom, y'all, Shar Shabbat, y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath. Hey, and continue to get it in. You know what I'm saying? There's always, you can watch old classes. If you're gonna congregate. Hey, let's keep dedicating this day to the Most High.
Hey, Debak, hold on before you go. I need for y'all brothers, when y'all take my Sabbath class, I need for y'all to promote y'all Friday classes, y'all Thursday classes. Y'all let them know that we don't do this just on Saturdays. We do this all week. So y'all let them know.
You're right. You're definitely right. So literally starting out the week, the second day, as Elder Karab who call it, right? Literally Monday, you got Brother Mike Allah, Captain Ira, right? You got Brother Palau. Wednesday, Elder Zahab, and then whoever's going, it's usually Captain Zakaria that's going to join them. And then you got Thursday night with Mike Allah, Colorado. You got us, LOI Detroit. Subscribe to all the channels, right? LOI APM, LOI Colorado, LOI Detroit. I do want to say the water to all of the people. I meant to say this a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's definitely worth mentioning that, you know, we done reached over 300 subscribers since we've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? It was something that I never thought about, thought that it would even happen. But, you know, 300 people is a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So if we reaching 300 or more, you know, it is what it is. All praise to the Most High. So, hey, just the water for the platform and everything. So
I'm waiting for my invite to y'all Friday night class. I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna come there. We're gonna get to 1,000. Like, what we talking about?
I was just about to say that. Let's push for 1,000.
God.
Easy.
We're gonna do a mighty class on a Friday night, man. We're gonna do. I'm talking to y'all. We're gonna do a part 1 and part 2. The part 1 is gonna be Friday. Part 2 gonna be in my Sabbath class. We're gonna do a class. We have to watch both. We'll get to y'all to 1,000. That's what we're gonna do. We ain't gonna talk about it now. We're letting y'all know that's what we're gonna do though. Anyway.
Priest.
Priest, we gotta get you to stay up though. You know, you be up early.
Priest be outside at 3 a.m. in the morning. He be outside.
I do know. The Bach know though. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you're right about that.
Hey, yeah, Priest, you be up early in the morning boxing and everything. I'd be like, man, I ain't even got the energy for that.
Nah, but I want to get y'all brothers, man, right. So I'm gonna come in all y'all classes, man. We're gonna get y'all right. We're gonna get all the channels over 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal for 2026. We can get all the channels over 1,000 subscribers. Hey, if y'all have not subscribed to LOI Detroit, LOI Colorado in the chat right now, and some of y'all are guilty, you need to repent and believe the gospel. Believe the gospel, repent, be converted. You're not converted if you haven't subscribed.
Damn right.
Yeah, that's it. The pop, you got it, man.
Okay. All right, y'all. We ain't gonna hold y'all no more. You know what I'm saying? Hey, definitely part 2. Look out for part 2. Is definitely coming. You know, whether it's the same brothers, whether it's different brothers, whether it's more brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely coming. So, hey, be on the lookout. Hey, shalom, y'all.
God, I praise shalom, y'all. Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat. Yabashim Shabrakatham.
Spacious air, reflecting the way of life under the Florida sky. Even the lobbies funnel in the great outdoors.
Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Formed in His image. Chosen.
They say the chain of Shaitan is not that strong. They say his time is running out, he ain't got that long. They say murder, kill, this is not that song. Said I won't amount to nothing, they got that wrong. Cause I was set apart and I was shown the light. And if I get the kingdom, I'll be clothed in white. 1/3 will be delivered and the rest were blinded. Their fate is set in stone, what you ain't read the fine print? Christ is gonna give a crown to us. In the end we'll have the nations bowing down to us, with their faces to the ground to us. It's the truth, as crazy as it sounds to us. Jacob forever rules, and we're his precious jewels. Showed us love and patience, put us above the nations. And that's the gospel, thank God for choosing me. Bad news for you, is really good news for me.
I was set apart for God's use. Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Formed in His image.
Let me tell you why. We have a different kind of shine, a different kind of mind. The rhythm's not the same, we're on a different type of time. With a different kind of pace, a different kind of race. The season's not the same, we have a different kind of taste. A different kind of salt, we are so not them. Got my sword and my shield, man, I'm so locked in. And when I came to serve Yahweh, put my whole heart in. So I can't sit calm, I'm no Martin. And that's a reach, y'all, chosen to teach y'all. Every Sabbath you can find us in the streets, y'all. Dear Ya Allah, my nickname is Priest, y'all. In the gym, they say that I'm a beast, y'all. Set apart, the nations all hating me. Set a trap, they lying in wait for me. Chris Paul, they don't wanna play with me. But if you love me, I'm asking that you pray with me. Cause
I was set apart for God's use. Chosen.
I
was set apart for God you. Formed in His image,
chosen, and thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people, chosen above all people that's on the face of the earth. That's Deuteronomy 7 and 6. That's you, black and Latin man. Chosen. That's you, black and Latin woman. Yeah. And we the chosen. Chosen.